जिस तुसें पता है असां जिम्मेदार लोग हाँ, जिम्मेदारी करने हाँ। ये साड़ी ज़मीन जी दादे परदादे तो साड़ी विरासत है जी, उन्हें शुरू तो साड़ी विरासत ही मिली जी दादे परदादे तो ही। तो इसने साड़ा जरिया माश ही है, रोटी पानी साड़ा ही है, ज़मीनदारी कर सा तो साड़ा सिस्टम चलना ही है। खेती बाड़ी पहले असा अपनी ज़मीन तैयार करने जी ट्रैक्टर ना मुकम्मल, उस बाद असा राई करने बीज जी जी सीजन होना गंदम ना या मक्का ना बाजरे ना जिहड़ा भी आ, यही साड़ी ज़िंदगी है जी किसानां दी।
Agriculture taxation in Pakistan. Agriculture sector, which is the most significant sector in the economy of Pakistan, is exempted from all direct taxations. Due to these exemptions and flexible lenient taxation policies, agriculture sector has become a legal and illegal tax-saving shelter to other incomes. But what is agriculture income tax? It can be defined as the income generated from agriculture sources, and all these sources include the production of farms, its land, and buildings associated with it. But why, apart from it being the most significant sector, why isn't tax levied on it? Is it because of the global concept of poor tax policies and poor administration? No, there are other reasons why farmers themselves do not pay agriculture income tax. The first reason is the uncertain income of the farmers. The majority of agricultural holdings are too small to generate taxable income surpluses. Even for a relatively large holdings, there is no guarantee of consistent income. Agriculture is a risky business by nature, and earnings can range from negative returns in some years to a very high earnings in others. Due to its extreme dependence on natural factors, it creates a high degree of uncertainty for the final output. A farmer can, for instance, lose all or most of his harvest due to some natural catastrophe, and he may lose not only that year's income, but also some of his livestock. As the agricultural incomes are uncertain, it is very much possible that a large number of farmers may frequently cross the tax exemption limit, making it difficult and time-consuming for tax authorities to keep track of them. The second reason is that there is no credit system established for the farmers. The system is already not in favor of the agriculture sector. There are no commercial insurance facilities present for the farmers. Unlike industrial establishments, which have easy access to a variety of credit sources, the farmer must finance capital replacement and additions primarily from his own savings. Middlemen give loans on extremely high interest rates to farmers, which they cannot afford to repay mostly. Farmers have to save money for the future to invest in their seeds, machinery, and if the farmers lose their capital, the financial institutions do not provide help as well. If the savings of the farmers are squandered, the farmers gradually lose their ability to produce and the entire country suffers. The third reason is it is inconvenient for the taxpayers as well as the tax collectors to collect the tax from the farmers. As most of the farmers are illiterate and they do not keep standardized records of their costs and profits, they cannot file their returns on their own. Because of this, they might get discouraged and leave farming, which can lead to food shortages in the country. It is inconvenient for the government as well because it will be difficult to assess the farmer's net income because no record is being maintained. Many of the farmers live in remote, inaccessible areas, which make it extremely difficult to reach out to them. Even contacting the potential taxpayers would cost a significant amount of time and money. For example, a huge workforce will be required and it will be a burdensome task to reach the potential taxpayers, collect data, and force them to pay taxes. The tax that will be collected will be far less than the cost of collecting taxes from the farmers. Already overtaxed. More than 85% of the federal government's total revenues come from indirect taxes. And according to the World Bank, the agricultural population constitutes the third-fourth of the population of Pakistan. Since indirect taxes are paid by everyone, it is safe to assume that whenever this population buys something, they pay taxes. Hence, if analyzed correctly, the agricultural population is paying more taxes than their share. The implicit and indirect taxation on the farmer is already too high. There are also hidden taxes in the form of low procurement prices paid by the government for many agricultural products, export duties on agricultural commodities as the mechanism of terms of trade between industry and agriculture. Further taxes will discourage the farmers. Higher taxations on agriculture will adversely affect the motivation for savings and investments at a time when farmers must make larger investments in order to increase productivity. Agriculture is the backbone of our economy, and the farmers are already shifting from agriculture sector to the other sectors in the economy. Agriculture income has increased not only due to higher income per acre, but also due to the increase in the area under cultivation. Higher taxations will discourage farmers from bringing new land under the plow. Less subsidies given to the agriculture sector. The data supports the view that the rural sector has received much less subsidy from the government than the urban sector. Subsidies benefit more people in the urban sector than the rural people who are employed in agriculture. More benefit goes to the people in urban areas because they get reduced prices of, example, sugar, wheat, whereas farmers do not buy their crops from the market. Rather, they grow their crops themselves, so they do not get to enjoy the subsidized crops. The last reason which we're going to talk about is the higher expenditure on agricultural inputs and equipment. Pakistan had an ever-increasing population, due to which the demands for locally produced food crops and livestock is constantly increasing. To cater for the high demand, farmers have to produce efficiently and effectively, which is why they require high-tech machinery, equipment, and expensive pesticides and insecticides. So the potential of earning more due to high demand has been offset by the need of investment to make their farming more productive.